crafty right on Froggy Friday, dancing wild in her own way.
Hey guys, welcome to the Mischief, and I am the future Crafty Rat. Just a brief thing, I'm redoing my introduction now. As you can see, everything's ready to demold, because I'm introducing that this video is part of the Froggy Friday collaboration. It was a collaboration started by Karen of the Dragon's Den and Lisa from the Girl in the Garage. Links to the playlist is below in the description. Please go and check them out. I've watched quite a lot of them and they're all absolutely fantastic. So yeah, go check them out once you watch this, of course. So I'm going to get into the actual making now, and then I'll be momentarily back to demold all these goodies. Right, today, as you can probably tell, I'm going to be doing a frog. Well, several frogs actually, but I'll get into that in a moment. Now, I have seen other people do this technique that I'm going to be doing, which is bubbles and using water beads. The ones I have seen, I can't for the life of me remember who I've seen do it, but I've seen multiples. They've poured in UV resin into the bottom, done the technique, and then filled it up. I'm hoping I'm doing something slightly different. It's different for me because I've not seen this. Although I should imagine lots of you will have done this. I'm going to fill up most of the way with clear resin. And then, once that's fully cured, I'm going to be putting a small layer, a thin layer of UV resin, putting on the water beads, backing it, and then filling it up with black. So you'll see what I'm going to do. But my husband, the wonderful sarcastic editor of these videos, he got me some little moulds, some froggies. So I figured it went with this. So what I'm doing with these, I'm going to be painting them with chameleon. Now I've already done two. The chameleon pigments micas that I got were from Temu, surprise, surprise, and it was a set of 6. So my husband blindly put his hand in the box and picked 3, and they're the 3 that we're going to do. So let's have a look. We've got, does it give a colour on them? It's like a greeny bronze, I think. We'll see when it comes out. This one's a bluey purple, and this one's a goldy red. Anyway, we'll see. So I've already coated the 2. I'm just going to be coating this one on the video. I'm going to be making up, I think, 140 mils. That should be plenty of resin. I know it's got to be more than enough for this. I just hope it's got to be enough for these 3. We'll see. And I would just like to put a shout out to Reptiles and Resins. Now, I absolutely love her channel. I think she's amazing. My husband enjoys watching her channel with me. Now, she has this mould, or one very similar. I think it's this one, again, from Temu. But what she does, and what I'm intending to do, is any little tiny bits of scrap, left on the stick, is I can just let it drain into there. And once it's filled up, I've got loads of little tiny bits that I can use in a different project. I hate wasting resin. I hate wasting anything. So I'm hoping that this will help a little bit. Because what I'll also be doing is, when I finish with my cups, just turning them upside down and letting them drain onto there. So that's what I'm doing. I'm now going to start painting on the 3rd frog. Right, so let me get everything out of the way. Let's put that off to the side, because this is going to go absolutely everywhere. Oh, I'm just using a sharp knife. Let my husband have that back. I'm just seeing if I can turn this one inside out. I was able to turn one of the others. Yeah, it just makes it so much easier. Again, as I say, I hate wasting absolutely anything, so I'm getting any of the powder that's on this and ensuring I don't waste it. And then all I'm doing is burnishing it into the mould. So this will just take me a minute or so. I will get my husband to fast forward this bit for you guys. You probably saw, if it didn't speed through too quickly, I did switch my brush. This one is quite a small one and it does take a while, whereas the other one, it kind of covers really nicely and really quickly. So just finishing off around here, and then I'll put it the correct way around, and then I can finish off, making sure I get as much of it as I can. So I've never done these before, so I have no idea what they look like. In fact, I don't even think my husband properly showed me close up when he got me them, so all I know is the frogs. So some will have come off at that point, putting it that way around. All I'm going to do is just put a bit more in there. Alright. So that's done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to have a little bit of clean up, and then I will be back once I have my 140 mils of resin poured. Right, see you in a second. Right, so I have got my resin, although before I start this, I am going to apologise if you hear any background noises such as the dog barking or the cat meowing, or even my kids. They're on holiday this week, so they're running around driving us crazy. Right, anyways, what I've got the clear resin now, and all I'm doing with this is pouring it onto the stick. I'm trying to get this as bubble free as possible. Now, I personally don't mind bubbles, don't have a problem with them, but I do know that some people don't. So on this attempt, all I'm doing is pouring from a little height and pouring in a thin stream and onto the stick so it doesn't splash around to create bubbles. Now I've gone up as far, I believe I've gone up as far as the knees. Waiting for the comments from my husband. I can see him thinking about what he's going to put on there. And just giving it a quick spray of alcohol to pop any bubbles so far, and then topping it up a little bit further. Now, the rest of this section is going to be sped up, but it's mostly just, what I'll be doing is mixing black in with a clear once I've got this done, and then pouring the rest of the moulds. So, right, I'll be back in a minute. Right, so you can just see me squeezing this. All I'm doing is trying to get the air bubbles out, and you'll probably just see in there at the top where the bubbles are going pop. I'll get my husband to try and point that out in the comments, because I can't remember if I got any more bubbles out of this one. So yeah, all I'm doing is giving it a squeeze to try and get the bubbles from around the head area, which is one of the main areas, especially with the frogs and their eyes. So I'm just topping this up now. And let's see. Right, so as you can see, I have just a little bit of resin left over. I was expecting to have some left over, but not as much as I did. So I'm just having a quick look around trying to scramble. Now, on my last video, I did have quite a few where I'd brushed them with mica powders and chameleon powders, just in case, but I never got to pour them because I didn't have that much leftovers. So this leaf was one that I'd already pre-done. Now, for the life of me, I cannot remember what mica powder I used. I think it was a chameleon powder. Not entirely sure. I do know it was more than likely from Temu, because I have been trying a lot of new powders that I've had recently. So all I'm doing now is just pouring my excess, getting my husband to please find me more moulds, please. So for the last bit of this section, it is just pouring the leftover.
She's the crafty rat with a twinkle in her eye, weaving webs of wonder, making the world go by. On Froggy Friday, she's skipping stones in the rain. Her laughter's like a riddle, it's driving me insane. Crafty rat on Froggy Friday, dancing wild in her own way. Her schemes like dreams, they slip and sway. Crafty rat on Froggy Friday. She wears a coat of moonlight stitched with stars, fixing the broken, chasing fireflies in jars. Frogs croak her name, they know she's one of their own. Every Friday night, the marsh becomes her throne. Crafty rat on Froggy Friday.
Right, so these have now cured, so I am not going to unmold these until the end. So I will move them out of the way and attempt to not say so again. I am keeping the chameleon powders that I've used with them. Right, and as you saw, and as I probably mentioned in the voiceover, I had a bit of leftover. I'm just going to move these out of the way. Alright, we are on to the main deal. So yeah, this is cured nicely. So what I'm going to do now is put the UV resin. I'm going to put a thin coat on. Not sure how much to use. As I mentioned, I've never actually done this before. I've seen it being done, but never actually done it. Therefore, I have absolutely no idea how much resin this is going to use. I don't want to do too thick a layer, but I do want to do enough to spread it all around. Looks like there's Looks like there's a little... Oh no, it's just bubbles. Okay, so to try and make sure there's no bubbles in this layer, what I'm going to do is use my heat gun. Okay. So I've seen a few little bits in there. I'm guessing they're from the top of the... When I've taken it off, there might have been bits that have fallen in. I'm just going to fish them out. Okay, I think that is that. So, I'm failing on the saw, but you know, there you go. This is my pre-prepared water beads, and they feel really weird. Now, put these on the side, and I'm going to put a few just to cover. Ooh! Send them flying all over the place. And I'm still failing. Oh dear. It's a good job that my eldest two are out tonight, or they'd be laughing at me about this. However, I do have my youngest. Let's say hello.
Hi.
So I've got my little baby rat, although she's not a baby anymore. Oh, this is getting all over the place. Yay! Ooh. Sorry for the sound effects. Going all over. I think I can probably get one more in. Oh, there's one here. I'll use this one. Oh, no. Right. One more maybe. And in we go. So as I said, never done this before. So it will be interesting. I have this. It's a Let's Resin UV cure, and it's double-sided, and I can't get it into shot. Still got the plastic on, because if I take it off, I'm going to get resin all over it. I will link this. It's from Amazon. It does come with a shelf, but that goes in the middle. However, the frog's a bit too big, so I'm just going to pop this on the bottom and plug it in. I'll get my husband to plug it in, as he's sat right beside me again.
Somebody has to keep you in check.
And of course, the wire's gone across the whole room and it's not quite big enough. So let's move it across. Alright, now I'm going to put this on for 5 minutes, I think. Right, I'll be back once this is done. Okay, so that's been 5 minutes. Tool. Yeah, seems good. Right, now getting these little balls out. So, I have no idea how easy this is going to be. Oh, that's not too bad. This is just oh, this one's broken. Oh well. Oops. That went on the floor. Ooh. Yeah. Sorry for the sound effects. I have both Mr. Rat and Baby Rat laughing at me. Okay, most of these are breaking, so I don't think these are reusable. However, oh, that looks weird. So I'm just, it seems to, oh, I missed one. No, I missed two actually. Two clear ones. Alright, let's have a look. Make sure I've got them all. I'm gonna poke every single one. There's a bit of red there. A bit purple. Okay, so I was going to cure this again for another 3 minutes, but it seems to have cured pretty well, possibly a bit too well. So I really need to think of another word other than so. It's even annoying me now. Okay, what I'm going to do now is give them to my husband so he can mess around with them. And now I am going to just quickly see. I think it's dry. I don't know if this is going to stick. Alright, I'll just get this opened. Okay, so I've got the lid off. This one I'm using is from the same set. Ooh, oops, that did these. And this is, I figured it's a frog. I've gone with a animal thumbs today. I've gone with a greeny colour. So, don't like wasting. So I'm probably going to speed up this part, but all I'm going to be doing is spreading it around, and hopefully there's still some stickiness there and I didn't put it under the UV lamp for too long. Looks to be. So yeah, I'll just be a minute. I might not even need to speed this up actually. Seems to be going on pretty quick. No idea what the coverage is like. I think if I was to do this again, I wouldn't put it under the UV lamp for as long. So it's trial and error. Never done it before, so didn't even know if this was going to work. Right. The question I have for myself now is, do I cover the whole toes and the chin? Yeah, I think I'm going to. If I can. No, might not be able to get under there, but I can do the torso. Right. I don't think I'm going to go over the whole toes. I'm just going to, up the legs even. I'm going to go up to the toes, so the toes will be mainly black. However, I should imagine they'll have bits of this powder in. But it doesn't need to be perfect. It seems to have stuck to the legs pretty well. I need to see if I can get that under there once I've done this. So yeah, the toes will be mostly black. I'm going to try and get under there. I don't have a different type, because what I'm trying to be careful of is I don't want to break the seal between the resin that's already here, as when I pour my next layer it's likely to seep down a little bit. So I'm just putting a tiny amount on. Don't think it's even stuck. I think it's actually stuck on the actual silicone on this side. It's going to have a dodgy chin. Here, what can I say? It ain't perfect, neither am I. Right. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to turn out. It might be good, it might be bad. We'll soon find out. So I'm going to mix up a little bit of resin. Not entirely sure how much I need, so I will no doubt have excess. I might do 60 or 80 mils. Yeah, I will have excess. I'll figure out what to do with that. I'll be back once my resin's mixed up. Alright, so I've got my clear resin here. Apologies if you can hear any banging. Next door neighbours are doing something, don't know what. So at this point I was thinking, under the chin I was worried about, I didn't want it just black. So I decided I was going to mix a little bit of the same mica powder that I poured, that I rubbed onto the UV resin, and add some black to that. So it's not going to be solid black, it will have the chameleon in. So all I'm doing is mixing this and pouring, and that's all you're going to be seeing for the rest of this section. Now again, I had excess, it's a shocker, so you'll see me pouring them. So I'm going to fast forward the rest of this section and I'll see you for the demold.
There's a crafty little rascal in the dead of the night, with tiny paws a-lurking by the porch pale light. A mason jar of resin and a sparkle in their eye, pouring mischief like the moon, pouring light from the sky. With a shake of their whiskers and a glint of pure gold, that glitter spins a story yet to be told. A palette full of shimmer, a dash of sly grin, the mischief maker's masterpiece is about to begin. Oh, crafty little rascal, pouring resin, making art, a splash of gleam and glitter straight from your heart. Out here in the moonlight, you're a marvel to see, bringing sparkle to the shadows with a touch of mystery. That resin but do they really care? A
Okay,
streak of
these are
shiny
fully
ruby,
cured,
a twist
mostly. Now, the toes on the frog do seem a little bendy still, but I'm figuring it seems to be really cold in my craft room, so that might have something to do with it. So I'm going to start off by demolding the excess that I did on my first pour. Now, these are definitely fully cured. Now, these are little tiny holographic hearts, because as you saw, I had just a little bit of excess resin. I've done, I think, yeah, 10 of these, so I'm probably going to make these into earrings, but they're really pretty. So they're pretty much all the same, so I'll put that to the side. Now this, I was going to do on the last video. As I've probably already mentioned, I've not done my voiceovers yet, so I apologise if I'm repeating myself. Ooh, that is a stunning colour. Now, because I've painted the micron so long ago, I have absolutely no idea which one I used. But I don't know if it's picking up. It's going from blue to purple. But it's absolutely stunning. So hopefully I can get some photos with the different colours on that. Right, so I'm going to leave these because they're part of the frogs, just because I can. So there. Right, now these ones, as I say, the resin does seem to be still a bit bendy, but again, as you saw, I had an excessive amount of resin and I was scrambling around. Mr. Rat, I need more moulds. I need more moulds. So this is some bat wings that we got. No idea what I'm going to use them for. I'm sure I'll figure it out. So there's two sets. But I'm actually liking this colour. It was the greenish gold mica powder just mixed in with black. When it came to the frog, I was very nervous about the chin because I couldn't get the mica powder on the clear under there without, under the chin. And I didn't want it black. So halfway through doing it, I figured I'd mix the chameleon powder into the resin, so at least there'll be some colour to it. This mould's really nice. Again, they're just bits to the side. As I said, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with them. Now, I'm expecting this to have lots of bubbles because the resin was thickening up as I were doing it. However, there are a few micro bubbles, but that looks really pretty. Can we? And finally for these, I love this mould. It's so sweet. Just with it being still a bit bendy, I'm just trying to be careful getting it out because I'll have to leave these flat for a while. But yeah, really do love this mould. Right, so that's them. So now I'm going to do these. Now I've completely mixed up the order. I had them all ordered right next to them and I've moved them all. That was clever of me. Oh well. So let's, it's really squishy silicone, comes out real, comes out really easily. Oh, he's cute. It is a matte mould, but I actually like matte molds. Probably going to paint the eyes on there. But how cute is that? Oh, I've got a feeling my daughter might be, yes, my daughter's planning on nicking these. She's stood behind me watching the screen with her dad, saying, yep, these are mine. Alright, so I've got a couple of bubbles in the toes. Can we see them? But I don't think you'll complain at them, will you?
No.
But I'm loving this colour. It's like champagne-y, greeny gold to a pink. Oh, it's gorgeous colour. I'm liking that colour. I mean, I do like this colour, but it's more just a single colour. This one is more of a chameleon, and I think that one, yeah, I think it's that one. So let's see the last little one. Again, air bubbles in the toes. So I know, main thing is, I know for next time where these areas are, that can pay a little bit of extra attention. But he's gorgeous. Yep, she likes. She likes. So I'm going to paint the eyes. I'll put them in the photographs, but I'm absolutely loving them. Now, for the main deal. I'm going to have to be really careful with this because, as I say, the toes are still a bit bendy. And I don't want to make another footless frog. Again, yeah, my daughter, my eldest, she's already nicked one of my footless frogs. And yeah, she's called it footless. She's whispering in the back. And now giving me dodgy looks. Right. Okay, so I'm just going to get these toes out. Now, I will admit my husband does sometimes help me with demolding these, but I am determined to do it myself. I do have a few issues. Ooh, right. Bubbles under the chin. But I did expect that, especially with how little space I had, because I couldn't get my tool in to clear it. But again, I don't see it as a problem. I'm not perfect, so I don't expect all these to be. Right, are we ready? Oh, wow. The clear in the top has really magnified that. I'm absolutely loving it. Now, next time I do this, I am going to use less UV because I did use quite a bit and it did come up, and maybe only put it under the lamp for 3 minutes because I found it wasn't really sticky. Although, I mean, saying that, when you look at the surface, it seems to have stuck pretty well. Right, so that's my Froggy Friday video. Let me know what you think. Well, I'll see you next time. Bye.
She's the crafty rat with the twinkle in her eye, weaving webs of wonder, making the world go by. On Froggy Friday, she's skipping stones in the rain. Her laughter's like a riddle, it's driving me insane.
crafty rat with her spinning light, turning the broken into something